So I've just come outside, ended my work day, and I'm going to sit here and watch the sunset. I've eaten and I have a glass of very delicious wine. And what struck me today, I attended a True Inclusion conference, and I was one of the presenters on the wellbeing track. And more than once, participants mentioned that when they were asked to express what are they struggling with in terms of lockdown and their health and well-being, a few people mentioned that they know that they're probably drinking more alcohol than they should be. And the one lady said, I'm just going to drink to get through this. And we all chuckled, but actually afterwards it sat with me for a while. And I just spoke to a friend a few moments ago and told her that I was going to enjoy a glass of wine. And we had a lovely conversation around when and why we should drink or not drink, or, is it good, is it bad? And those of you that know me will know that my family are from the Champagne region in France. So I've been drinking champagne from like a really young age. And for me, what I've always said, and my friend reminded me of this, she's like, well, I heard this incredible advice once. It turned out she had heard it from me. And one of the guidelines I give for those of us that choose to drink, because if you don't drink, that's also cool. I mean, it's not like you're going to lose out on any kind of nutrients. You're probably going to get better sleep. You'll consume less calories. I mean, we know that alcohol is very addictive, and people who abuse it can really cause a lot of damage, not just to themselves, but to people around them. It's not like you eat a slab of chocolate and then phone your ex and pick a fight, right? But you're likely to do that over alcohol, and God, if you drive and drink, well, we know, so it's not good. However, I'm not going to stop drinking alcohol. So one of the guidelines that I recommend is try and always drink to rather celebrate than to forget. So drink when you're in a good, happy place rather than a not good place and then wanting to change your state. And then even if you are drinking to celebrate, I think it's important to stay curious. I think curiosity is one of the very important pillars of EQ. It's one of the pillars of Santé, my signature program, which is around the champagne making process as a metaphor for well-being. And staying curious is important. So ask yourself, why am I wanting this drink now? Because if it is to change your state and to feel good, it's quite empowering when you realize that there are many ways to feel good. You don't just have to have a drink to feel good. I know that there's certain songs that I can play and produce dopamine and endorphins, and I feel amazing, probably better than what I would if I had a few glasses of wine. So if you are going to drink, stay curious and ask yourself, what is it that I'm trying to shift, if anything? And if I'm trying to shift it, and I'd like to drink less, like the ladies and the guys that were on the wellbeing seminar today, could I do something else? Could I use music, dance, speaking to somebody else, maybe calling up a friend to actually change my state? And then if you are going to drink alcohol, do it consciously. And things that I do, for instance, when I poured the glass of wine, is I removed the prompt to go and have more. So I didn't bring the bottle outside with me. I actually sealed the bottle and I put it out of sight. So don't just leave the open bottle of wine on the kitchen counter. A lot of us, I know, if we're drinking alone or with just one other person, it's quite easy to finish a bottle. That would probably be too much, especially if you're trying to get deep rest at the moment, because we know that alcohol might make you feel drowsy initially, but it can cause you to wake up in the middle of the night and not go into a deep sleep. And Paul, it's lovely to see your comments. I agree. I'm going to have just this glass of wine because I know it won't impact my sleep and I'll enjoy it mindfully. And I'm also not needing to change my state, actually. I'm really wanting to enjoy the wine. So the other thing I did is I poured a glass of water. So staying hydrated when you're drinking or having an alcohol-free beverage along with any alcoholic beverage can also help you to not drink too much or drink more slowly and pace yourself, especially when you're drinking on beautiful days when the weather's warm like this. I mean, I know here in the UK, summer is synonymous with like gin and tonic and Pimm's. And when we're really thirsty, it's easy to then drink a lot. And then the other thing to do is to make sure that you eat whenever you drink. So I actually had my dinner first and then had the glass of wine rather than the other way around. A lot of us will have a glass of wine while we're cooking food, and that can suppress all your inhibitions. You can end up drinking more than you need and eating a whole lot more. And when you consider that an average glass of wine has 150 calories, that's if you're not heavy on the hand, that's quite a lot actually. That's the same as a snack. So every glass of wine or unit that you have of alcohol is going to contribute towards your calorie intake. So that's me. I'm now going to sign off. I've had a wonderful day. I'm preparing for a big event on Thursday. Feels like the presentation of my life. I'm doing 6 hours straight, a wellbeing masterclass with the Canadian group of business leaders. And I'm sure we'll talk about wine and all things celebratory and state changing and well-being. So I don't know where you are. I don't know if you're sitting with a glass of wine or if you're sitting with a G&T or if you're wanting to have a drink. But yeah, remember to drink to celebrate, not to forget. Try and always have at least 2 days in the week where you don't drink any alcohol. And no matter how much or how little you drink, stay curious and ask yourself why. And if there are other ways for you to achieve the same state that you want to, why don't you explore those? I'm thinking of doing a regular weekly chat like this, where we talk about any kind of topic related to physical, mental, or emotional well-being, or even the meaning dimension of well-being. I'm just not sure what day of the week is good to do that. So I'd be delighted if you left me a comment and said like thumbs up for a Tuesday, because I've been thinking about a Wednesday, and then a few of my colleagues and friends have said, well, a Thursday is good because then we're getting into weekend mode and relaxing and we start thinking about ourselves more than work. So I'd love to know what day of the week would suit you to have a half an hour chat where we'll celebrate, check in, and talk about something related to well-being. And if there's any particular topic that you'd like to hear about, I would love to explore that with you.